Alright, I'm gonna try something here. I'm gonna rank famous songs from famous albums, and if you like this kind of content, it'll be up to you to leave a comment what album I should do next. So I figured the best way to format this was to go through each song just as it appears on the album, one track after the next, and not give my official ranking until the end. I will leave that to you to potentially discern based on my reactions and how excited I am about the track, maybe where I have it ranked. And of course I'm going to be playing all the songs off the album in this video, so I can't monetize this video. If you'd like to support what I do, check out Guitar Super System. There's a link in the description for 50% off your subscription. That's limited to the first 50 people who sign up, so please take advantage of that offer, and I really appreciate your support. Now let's get to it. Will you and I have the exact same ranking of our favorite tracks on Master of Puppets? Let's find out. Ah yes. The sweet, sweet flamenco-esque sounds of Battery. I was obsessed with this when I first heard it. I remember it really helped me with figuring out the minor sound, harmonizing. Go into one of the greatest and quickest riffs ever recorded. God, I used to work on this so much. Let's see where I'm at. Ooh. The fact that he sings and plays that, James Hetfield, what more proof do you need that he is the absolute greatest metal frontman, maybe just frontman in general, ever to live? Now, one of the things Metallica is known for, especially on this album, interludes. One of my favorite riffs right here. I mean, this riff is definitely worth throwing in the old exercise bank. But with the other chords going on, and a little bit of extra speed, it can really become a great, useful exercise as well as just a historically great interlude riff. Which of course leads us into this ridiculous solo. This sound, I never realized it was a wah pedal. That kind of nasally wah sound he really favored for lower runs to kind of emulate, I don't know, a man screaming. I mean, that's a historically great guitar solo. Often overlooked, I think, maybe on this album. You know, it's not anything too melodic, it's just totally a shred fest. It's a Battery. And that song Battery was actually referenced to a venue that the band used to play, the old Waldorf venue on Battery Street in California. Imagine seeing Metallica play Battery live in a little venue. I just wish I was there. But anyway, Battery, incredible song. It's gonna rank highly on my list, but it's not gonna be the #1 song. I mean, just look what happens to your face when you hear this song for the first time. I mean, just incredible. And of course, this is all down picking. The guitar lore of this is you can't cheat and alternate pick this riff like this. You know, you gotta get that actual down picking tone. It makes a difference. Listen. Yeah, that's much better. down picking for 8.5 minutes. Oh god. Yeah, this is an absolute behemoth of a song. Just the spectacle of the technicality alone is enough to rank this one number one. Of course, I'm not getting to my rankings yet, but yeah, this one's also going to be quite high on my list. There's just so many nuances to it. It's such a journey you go on with this song. Of course, it's about James's battle with alcoholism. I think actually James wrote this song in a friend's basement while he was drinking beer. Imagine you're in a basement somewhere just pounding a Coors Light and you're like, hey, check this one out. What do you guys think? Hold on, I got more. I think I learned it when I was 15, and that's probably going to affect my ranking of these songs and any of these albums that I do is what do these songs mean to me? So in that way, it's a little subjective, but you can't deny everyone kind of had a similar feeling when those harmonies kicked in the bridge. I love that weight on the cymbals. For somebody who's getting interested in music and melody, for example, these harmonized guitar parts were like candy for me. And then first James Hetfield solo. You can always hear because of his quick little hammer-on pull-offs. And that particular bend is very James Hetfield. I love that last note. They eventually enter into the solo riff section. And of course, we know where that leads to one of the most famous guitar solos, undeniably of all time. One that I actually played on Kirk Hammett's Ouija guitar. Also, this song has 1 billion streams on Spotify, the most of any on the album. Suppose that'll be taken into account too. Let's move on to track number 3, The Thing That Should Not Be. And I recall this is one of the few Metallica songs that's in a drop tuning. It just comes in with the... Oh yeah. Is this maybe... I don't know which song on this album has the best intro. Sounds like a garbage truck coming down the freeway. This is really Metallica discovering that palm muting and this chugging sound that is thrash metal that Metallica are perfecting as they write this album. They're like, you know what sounds awesome? Just power chords chugging chromatically. It just doesn't matter. Even in standard tuning, that is objectively cool. I love the idea of just having a verse that builds up kind of clean and then goes into a riff. It's just original writing. And of course, this solo is a little otherworldly as well. Maybe a solo that should not be. I mean, if I know it all note for note in my head, it must be a great solo. This is just Lars. He's like, let's do one chugga-dun-dun and then 2 chugga-dun-duns. It just gets me in a mood that not many other songs can do. And for that, I respect it. 4th track of the album, Welcome Home, Sanitarium. Every kid tried to learn this intro. I learned to do harmonics on the 12th fret because of this intro. It also taught me to keep my fingers arched, to keep that ringing string throughout this intro. that's still in the bank somewhere. I used to get that riff confused with... because it had the intro. Of course, that's Fade to Black. And then also, what's that other one? One? That other one? So there's a lot of E and B minor action happening here. Maybe that was a tendency that Metallica adopted a lot with their harmony. But back to Sanitarium, one of my favorites for sure. The solo that kicks things off, it's, again, just one that you gotta learn when you're trying to learn guitar. I remember this was the challenging part. Oh, I love that part. I mean, that is just an insane riff for a chorus. Epic riff for an epic chorus that leads to a guitar solo that we all remember and love for some very specific licks. Ah, the old one note. Is there a better way to start off a guitar solo? This is how I loved to start off my solos when I was like 15. See, Kirk Hammett is a man of the people. He's a man of the basic guitarist. Of course, Kirk Hammett is a masterful guitarist, and don't ever think that I'm saying anything otherwise. But he is just accessible in a way where he has fun. He plays everything that we would want to play ourselves, but it's in his own way, its own unique voice. And I just love this solo for that reason. This is just perfect Kirk Hammett. Disposable Heroes. There it is. This goes into a very famous picking pattern we all know and love. That's fast. This one never really resonated with me, I gotta be honest. I like it. Strong entrance to this solo. I remember there's like a unnecessary modulation at some point. Where is it? I think it's right here. Yeah. Then we're back home. Modulate. And home. Yeah. What do you think about Disposable Heroes? Am I going to end up ranking that one too low? Let's move on to the 6th track, Leper Messiah. What? Yeah. I remember this groove totally messed me up when I heard it for the first time. Like, what is that? This is like a screwdriver. I love this part where it kind of has this reverse snare thing, just the bass. This is just a badass track. Again, we're just resting on those chromatic power chords. Really staple of this album, that chromatic sound of power chords. And then we're coming up to another interlude lick for the ages. course, the Leper Messiah solo is actually one that I teach in Guitar Super System. Remember, first 50 to sign up get a 50% discount. But this might be the first sweep picking pattern any guitar player learns. The 7th track, I remember this one takes a moment to start. Almost 8.5 minutes long. It fades in with an ominous bowing string double bass. I don't know what it is. It's some sawing presence getting closer and closer. Like I'm walking towards a great abyss. Drums slowly come walking towards me. We take some more sonic definition around the song. Realize there might be some more to it than just an ancient stringed instrument. What is this? They just let it breathe. I don't know what it is. This sound just speaks to me. They just keep it going too. They're like, no, this is great. Of course, as we get to the next section, such an interesting guitar tone. That wasn't a guitar at all, and maybe you were screaming that at the screen. That was actually Cliff Burton doing a little bass interlude, a melodic bass solo. And I believe this is all some Kirk Hammett going on right here. I remember that lick too. I think that might be an influence. I don't know if Kirk Hammett was taking lessons from Joe Satriani yet at this point, but it definitely, I feel some of that influence in some of these solos, but I could be imagining it. Of course, the best part of this song is when everything drops out like this. Got a little bass happening here. And then the 3 part, is it 3 or 4 parts? For how much I love this song, you'd think I'd know how many parts this is, but I just never heard guitar harmonies like this before this song. I don't actually know this song, and I don't know a lot of Metallica songs, but I know some of them very specifically. This is one I've never been compelled to learn because I like it so much. I've just never sat down and been like, I've definitely, of course, attacked that little interlude there with 4 part harmonies, but yeah, just one I've kind of always just left alone, just to have for myself, unguitarified, if that makes sense. Final track of the album, Damage Incorporated. This intro, I always forget about it because it's so epic. It's really like cinematic. You could put this at the beginning of Gladiator, the good Gladiator, not Gladiator 2. But this is just so perfect of a way to end this album because it's such an enigmatic, huge album that it has to be personified and put into context with one final track. And of course the intro has to be something massive like this. Really cool sounds. I don't know how they're getting those I believe this is the fastest Metallica song. Is that right? And it's funny because Battery, the first track of the album, starts with something slow and acoustic. This is slow and electric. But we end with the same sort of chaotic guitar riff. I think this might be the fastest recorded Metallica guitar riff. I'm not going to go much further into this track. I don't know how long this video is at this point, but I'm going to go ahead and get to the rankings because I believe there's some things to say about each of these tracks, and my rankings as a result will reflect my own personal tastes and what the band means to me. But let me know what your rankings are, what you would have number one. Maybe you disagree with some of my rankings. Leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And I don't know if you guys like this video. I'll do more popular albums. Coming in at number 8, it's no surprise, Disposable Heroes. A disposable track, might I add? No, of course I wouldn't add that because it should go without saying. I'm not criticizing Metallica. I love each one of these songs. They are better than anything I have ever written or ever will probably write. But yeah, Disposable Heroes just doesn't quite get there for me because there are so many other great tracks, which leads me to my 7th ranked song, Damage Incorporated. While I do love its cinematic feel and the overall energy and amazing technical display of it, it doesn't really come up much on my playlists. It's just not one that I return to. It's a little bit too Metallica, if that's possible. So that's why I rank it 7th. Moving on to my 6th ranking, I'm gonna go with Welcome Home, Sanitarium. I sort of surprised myself ranking this one 6th. I thought it would be higher, but I don't know. I just, there's a couple on this list that slightly nudged it out of the way. Maybe this one is just not quite my tempo of E minor over B minor sort of opening riffs. I prefer One or Fade to Black when it comes to that sort of harmonic aesthetic, but I mean, this song's so good. How could it be my 6th ranked song? Well, because my 5th ranked song is Master of Puppets, and I know Master of Puppets, how could that not be number 1? I mean, it's like the greatest metal song ever written. I rank it number 5. Am I nuts? I think I might need to edit this. No, I'm not going to edit it. I know it was like a whole renaissance for people to discover Metallica through the show Stranger Things when that dude played the Metallica riff and killed aliens or something. I don't really know what happened, but Metallica transcends generations, and Master of Puppets is the song that proves that. And yet it doesn't even crack my top 4. What does? The 4th song is Leper Messiah. I mean, that's just a bad song. You put that song on when you want to get ready to do something evil. Or, you know, pump yourself up for a workout. I don't know. Weird timing, the chromatic stuff, the epic guitar solo. I just love Leper Messiah. That's why I rank it 4th. Moving on to my top 3, The Thing That Should Not Be is my 3rd ranked song on Master of Puppets, and this is a surprise to me, but also not surprising at all. This song puts a grimace on my face that not many other songs can. The fact that it's just a throwaway song in the grand scheme of what people appreciate on a grand scale about Metallica, this song is such an underrated gem, and it demonstrates everything that I love about Metallica, which is their progressive nature. You know, they're not afraid to mess with song form, and the way they deliver their verses and choruses are very much against the status quo, in my opinion. So this is just a perfect display of what I love about Metallica. The songwriting, the riffage, and the epic leads. 2 songs left. Battery is my 2nd favorite song on Master of Puppets. And as you would guess, that means the number 1 track. Well, it's Orion. It's funny, I still have the exact same taste I had when I was 15. I heard Orion, I was like, wait, this is Metallica? Where's the singing? This was my introduction to real instrumental music. I heard this song before I heard like Steve Vai or Joe Satriani, Eric Johnson, all those melodic guitar players who use their guitars to sing, essentially. This was before that. So I didn't know you could actually just have an instrumental song. I thought you had to have lyrics. It's a weird thing when you're growing up and learning about music. You learn what's possible and what's not. And it turns out nothing is impossible. You can do whatever you want. And Metallica is a band that proves that to me and why I love and respect them so much. So I hope you enjoyed this deep dive. My favorite songs on my favorite albums, starting with Master of Puppets. Hopefully I get to do more of these episodes if you guys dig it. Please check out Guitar Super System. Link in the description. The first 50 of you to sign up will get a 50% discount. And until next time, keep shredding.